I'm Vishnu on the program this evening. I'm speaking straight to you. I'm deeply worried. Trump is threatening to hit Iran very hard with airstrikes at nuclear sites and also at the Iranian Revolutionary Guard leaders while protesters are dying in the streets. Now, some say, and I don't entirely disagree, that those bombs, if they come, will not help the Iranian people. They'll only rally the regime, silence dissent, and give hardliners the perfect scapegoat. Then again, there are those who say that the regime has to be pushed and military force is the way to do it. I know oil prices might shoot up again if there is war in that region. For India, this might mean higher costs at petrol pumps for you and me, and certainly shattered supply chains in other parts of the world. It may not just be limited to Iran if there are wider strikes. Remember, Iran can strike as well with its ballistic missiles. I fear Russia and China, already supporting Tehran, will get dragged in far deeper and turn this into a much bigger conflict. Far, far away, Trump now says that Greenland's status is unacceptable and that he might take it by force from his NATO ally Denmark. I see this shattering NATO, wasting billions of dollars and making America look like an aggressive bully instead of as a leader. It is my belief that territorial grabs like this weaken global rules that we all depend on. I'm calling for real diplomacy, not reckless threats. Let's all stand up for peace before we all regret it. But first up, if we are going to be talking about military strikes by America, because Donald Trump is alluding to that repeatedly, here are 6 key potential American military options against Iran. So let's have those details up on the wall. Well, this is the region that we're actually talking about. This is actually a map that Al Jazeera worked on very, very closely. And all of these red dots are areas where the Americans have their bases across the region. In Oman, in Qatar, Bahrain, Kuwait, in Iraq as well, they've got facilities. And therefore, America is deeply invested in this area. So if there are strikes from the Americans onto Iran, it is possible that Iran may lob missiles, as they've done in the past, against bases of the Americans in Kuwait, Bahrain, Qatar. There are already non-essential staff members who've been told to go away. And then, of course, there is Israel, far, far away. But Israel might well be involved in any Iranian response. Will there be more missile attacks both ways? Could this trigger a larger war? Remember, Iran's regime is battling for its survival. If strikes come in, it is seen to be a fairly desperate regime at this time. Will they actually fight back? If so, can it be meaningful at all? Again, this is a map from Al Jazeera I found very useful. So, how might Trump hit Iran? Airstrikes from regional bases, the ones I pointed out to. The US could deploy B-52 bombers. They could deploy fighter jets from bases in the Middle East to target Iranian military sites. There could be naval missile launches, cruise missiles fired from aircraft carriers, from destroyers, from submarines in the Persian Gulf against regime infrastructure. There could be drone attacks, precision strikes using armed drones on key targets like the Iranian Revolutionary Guard's facilities or protest suppression units. So those who are leading the offensive against the protesters might be targeted. Cyber operations, which could disrupt Iranian command communications, their networks, to hinder regime responses, could be something that the Americans look at militarily. Special forces raids, in other words, covert operations by elite units to sabotage critical assets without large-scale invasion. Because here's another important point: American boots on the ground may be entirely counterproductive. There could be targeted infrastructure strikes. In other words, long-range missiles hitting missile production sites, nuclear sites, right, which were, of course, hit a few months back. But again, an effort to degrade the military capability of Iran.